Joining us today is County Board Chair Katie Crystal and Vice Chair Christian Dorsey. Thank you both once again. Now, the board approved a donation for the so-called Citizenship Scholarship, which is a little bit of a tongue twister, I'm going to admit, but I love this story. This is just the sweetest thing ever. Tell us a little bit about this donation.
We love this story too, I think. So some residents may know, some may not, that when you want to become an American citizen, there is a filing fee to do so, a federal filing fee of $725. And for some folks in our community, that can be prohibitively expensive. And when it is expensive to someone who can't afford it, they delay becoming a citizen. And we have a resident who saw that gap and stepped in to fill it and to create a citizenship scholarship. That is a tongue twister, but very important, that will be administered by our Department of Human Services to help residents who need it meet that filing fee cost and become citizens faster.
And this was an anonymous donor, correct?
Absolutely, and just a resident of our community filling a need that exists and coming up with just a really great way to do it. Since our Department of Human Services is already in the business of doing income certifications, this money can truly be directed to those new Americans who are in need, and this resident can rest with the comfort of knowing that her generosity, her philanthropy is actually connecting, filling a gap. People who are otherwise qualified and ready to become new Americans, making sure that can happen as expeditiously as possible. Everybody who's heard about this has had the same reaction. They love this story, they love this anonymous donor, and I think probably what I don't love is that we can't acknowledge her publicly because it's a tremendously helpful thing.
And now how does this work? Will folks go in and apply for this scholarship, or how's the process going to work?
Absolutely. So first we should say anybody who thinks they may qualify, we hope they'll visit the county website and search Immigration Scholarship, where they can find more details and information about how to embark. But at a high level, to qualify, you'll need to live in Arlington and meet an income limit to do so. But our Department of Human Services is also a great place to learn about all kinds of services that might be available for our new American population. And this is, of course, a conversation we've had quite a bit in recent months, given the national conversation. But we do have an immigration webpage on our county homepage as well that provides information about English language classes, citizenship classes, legal services for immigrants, as well as a place where you can find some of the board statements over the past couple of years about how we truly believe that immigrants make our community stronger and better. And we think this Act from the Citizen really reinforces that core belief about who Arlington is. And
Arlington's whole belief of being a truly inclusive, welcoming community, as we've said many times in the past. So is the scholarship active now? If someone went on to the website today, they could start that ball rolling with the process? Or?
Absolutely. I mean, it's available for people who are otherwise meeting the criteria, which are stated and laid out where Katie indicated, and it's exciting. Hopefully, at some point soon, we'll hear reports of people who've been able to take advantage of this scholarship and accelerate their process of becoming citizens. As we all know, it's a process that takes a very long time, and this resident had the foresight to recognize it's an extra indignity if at the end of that process, or at some point during that process, it's a filing fee, which becomes a barrier towards your continuing, and just a tremendous way to fill that gap.
Now, did this donor, what was her reasoning coming forward? What did she say when she said, "I'd like to do this"? Did she have a neighbor, or do we know?
I don't know the backstory. Do you?
I don't think either.
Okay.
I think this is someone who's chosen to make their gift and not to say a whole lot more. But my hope, at least, is that no matter who you are in Arlington, you can look to her example and draw some inspiration about how you can help, and whatever that issue might be, or whatever the means that you have to put towards it. Maybe it's your time instead of money. That you'll be inspired by whatever motivates you, just as whatever motivated her to step up and help serve others.
And we should probably be clear, in this case, the money is being administered by our Department of Human Services. The lesson here is not that you give to government. The lesson is that you give to your passion.
Exactly.
And wherever that need is being filled in the nonprofit community or wherever else, that's what we encourage. That's what's heartwarming. In this case, actually, our Department of Human Services is the best equipped to actually administer this, but I don't want people to feel like we are encouraging people to come out and give to government,
Right.
even though if you want to.
We're going to turn it down. Right? But this is just truly an act of goodwill from this individual. And it'll be very interesting to meet our new citizens who are able to benefit from
That's
this
exactly
program.
right. Just last year, Arlington, along with USCIS, hosted a naturalization ceremony, which for me was an absolute high point of 2017.
Yeah.
To see folks, many of whom have lived
Yeah.
in the United States and sometimes even in the region of Arlington for decades,
Yeah.
to come forward to tell their story and to desire to be Americans. It's an incredibly patriotic thing.